Kevin Marshall. I directed and devised Gator Tales. And I have some representatives, Randi and Mickle from the Samuel Proctor Oral History Program, and several actors from the cast will be joining us momentarily as soon as they jump out of costume. We're here to answer any questions you might have about today's performance. Also, we're here to have your comments. Also, I'd like to introduce, we have Joseph McCloud, who was in the performance. Mr. McCloud, will you please stand? We also have Albert White's daughter in the house. Is she here? Okay. She had to leave. Okay, yes. And are there any other people that were characters or connected with?
The builder.
The builder, yes. Mr. Emerald or? Emmer. Mr. Phil Emmer. Okay. Yes, and we have Mr. Bernard Hicks as well. This has been a wonderful experience for us because many of the people that were mentioned in the stories have been able to see the production. And we're just honored to be able to bring their stories to life here. Do you have any questions for our people from the oral history program, the Samuel Proctor Oral History Program? Any questions for us?
When were the interviews done? Have they been done over a long time? They've been done over the last several years. Some have been one interview, some people have been interviewed multiple times.
I'd just like to say that
Thank you. It's been a wonderful project that we went through. The oral history program has in the African American collection. When I first started looking at these and listening to these oral histories, 300. Now they have over 400 in their collection. They're all on the web. So if you go to the Samuel Proctor Oral History Project, you will be able to listen in full detail. What you saw today were just snippets, really. Many of these interviews ran for over an hour, some for several hours. And what we were able to do was to trim them and bring them down and find some of the more dramatic and fascinating stories to life with this. And I've been working on this project for the past year and a half. I had done a previous project working with the Judaica Library and the Gladys Library, and members of that, the Humanities Center said, well, you need to listen to the oral histories that we have here in the Samuel Proctor program. And I was able to do that. They initially, I said, give me some of the more exciting and memorable stories. And they gave me 40 of those stories. And from that, after listening to all of those stories, I wheedled it down to about 20. And then from those 20, we were able to find 14 of them that we presented today with that. And we have some of the cast members coming, and do you have any questions? Yes.
It's not a question. I just wanted to say how successful you were at bringing this has been dry documentation of this period of time, and we grew up in it as high schoolers when integration was brought in Sarasota. And you've done so much to make an emotional connection with the actual people that live in this and to bring that to us. it really is a very effective presentation. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you. Thank you. We've been working on, there were 4 of us that were involved with all of the projections and finding these projections, working through the university's archives and finding those wonderful photographs and pictures in the alligator and wherever we could find them on the internet and all of that. It was a real group effort to do that. And it's, yes?
Do you plan to take this a step further? I'm asking that question because I spoke with Ms. Evelyn, the president of the NAACP today, and she was just very much interested in us letting this get out into the broader community, as well as maybe taking it to our schools. And we just want to know, will there be another opportunity for you to take this step further?
Well, we will be redoing this production in July because we'll have 4 performances again in here in preparation for us taking it to the International Collegiate Theatre Festival as part of the Edinburgh Fringe Festival in Edinburgh, Scotland this summer. So a group of us, about 13 of us, will be taking the play to Scotland there. We also have had filmmakers here today and on Friday night, and they have, we're going to try to create a DVD and things so that it can be streamed and what have you on the Samuel Proctor Oral History Program's website. So there will be opportunities for people to see further productions of this and see it also on the web.
Thank you very much.
Any questions for our cast? We've got a whole bunch of them
Someone over there.
here now. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. I really enjoyed the presentation. It's almost like a story of my life. I'm a lifelong resident of Gainesville and call ourselves. Attended non-integrated schools here. Graduated from Washington in '68. Went to Christmas. Returned back here as a transfer student. Went through the sit-ins with Joel, McCloud, and others. Had an opportunity to graduate from here 3 times. And served as Black Student Union advisor for 33 years. And retired from here after 35 years. And now live in Capri, which is a Denver development. And so I feel that this was my life story. And that everything that went on here with the sit-ins, with BAM, with everything that went on here, it was like flashbacks. And I was checking the accuracy as we were going along. Because Mawson, author of the book African Americans at the University of Florida. And so it was very accurate and I think very well portrayed. And delighted that I was able to find out about it. I just found out about it like Wednesday. I didn't know anything about it. And I was glad I was able to get in at the last minute.
Well, we did turn a lot of people away this week because we've had a lot of interest from the community and from the students also here on campus.
Very well.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the comment. Anything else? Anybody? Yes.
I guess I have a question, either for you and oral history department, but also the cast, in terms of interpreting the script and building the script, because I think it's a really unique thing to be able to have the true accounts and documentation and then process that down into a script and then interpret that. So if anyone has any comments about that, I'm interested.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you mine. These were the words that the guy said.
Yeah.
So the power was in the words that he said. He was very brave to say these words at that time. So that kind of boosted me up a bit, just thinking that these words at this time, imagine calling all those people that at that time. Some brave stuff. But the words were there for us. We didn't have to do anything but just, for myself, just say the words.
Yeah, these were written in the words of the individuals that you heard today. I would say 98% are direct verbatim testimony that people utilize here. My job as devising this piece was selecting them and arranging the course of things. Before I came to the University of Florida, I taught 16 years at the University of Alabama. And I was very familiar with the story of integration in Alabama because they celebrated all of the milestones as they came up, the 20-year, 30-year, 40-year. We had our 50-year anniversary just 3 years ago here at UN, integrating the university. And being here 17 years, I really didn't know much about it myself. And we've talked to a lot of people. A lot of people didn't know these stories. And so it was a wonderful journey for myself. And bringing along all the cast and all our designers and everything else on finding the history of integration here. And we're just glad that we could celebrate with you. It's been an honor. Thank you. Yes.
I just want to hear from the cast. How was your experience being in Gator Tales, playing your characters, and even rehearsing and hearing the oral histories and things like that? How was your experience throughout this journey?
I think the most important part of it was we had access to the interviews, so we could hear, and I think some of us had video interviews. I think that might have just been Albert White, but so you could hear how they told the story. And I think a lot of people, as an actor, you have a tendency to like over dramatize something, but hearing them, it was almost, a lot of them were very monotone and very hard to hear. So it was, but it really helped inform our characters hearing them tell it and hearing their voices start choking up at certain points. And so for me, that was the most important part, is trying to take the essence of how Tom Holland-Fay, the way he said it, and try to just inject that into what I said.
Yes.
Did any of the actors, did you get a chance to talk to any of the actual interviewees to have them tell you about their experience before you worked on your character?
Not before. Not before, after.
Unfortunately.
Yes. Some people have, as we said, some people have been here, so the cast has met those people that they portrayed. Yes, after the fact, not before.
I think part of the answer to that might be that the audio histories that we had to work from were much longer than the pieces that we were actually doing. So that gave us a lot of opportunity to hear. And then, yeah, I was lucky enough to have, Albert's was like 2 hours long, so thank God. But then there was the video, he did a video interview as well. I came back after listening to the first one and saying, oh my God, this guy's really articulate. And so how do we do that? And I think I tried to do what he was doing on the tape one night, and the whole cast was like, oh God, that's so boring. So it's a really interesting thing. You have to marry a little bit of, you have to heighten things a little bit in order to make them at least slightly entertaining, as opposed to, because true life is really boring. But listening, seeing Albert helped me a little bit because I could see him be a bit more animated than he sounded. So I was like, okay. So I was very happy when he came, and he was very happy. His wife was the one who said, you're just like him.
Well, thank you all for being here, for having the opportunity to speak with us. And again, without you, the audience, we wouldn't have the stories to tell. So thank you very much.